Welcome back, you beautiful fucks. It's me, Danny, coming back at you with another Zilla video. So, today we're looking at the 1962 Godzillas. That's from the Godzilla vs. King Kong, or King Kong vs. Godzilla. Sorry, do not stab me. Right now we're looking at some Mario figures I just picked up. I don't know, I think this is a new wave. Cat Mario and one of those mini bosses. We also have, again, some custom Godzillas that we'll take a look at. And since I don't have a King Kong from that movie, the 1962 movie, I have one that I kind of custom painted that has a similar color scheme that we'll look at. Here's the Bandai Memorial Box 1962. Love this figure. It was high up on my list, and I found it on Macari. Anyway, though, while we show figures in the background, we're going to talk about two things. First off, talk about losing my place. Skull Island, the anime teaser that just dropped. So far, just off the bat, it looks good. Kind of forgot about it for a while. The art style, I'm not one of those who's very picky when it comes to different anime styles, because I'm just not into anime that much, although I do enjoy some of them. So it looks fine to me. There are some parts that do kind of look a little like a children's TV show, a children's cartoon. That's a little bit of a nitpick. I'm more worried about just like the story, and hopefully it's all canon. I believe it is. There's a skull crawler on the poster, so I'm sure it's all canon, but we'll see once it comes out how good the story is. Hopefully it's awesome and builds more lore on Skull Island. That'll be nice. So that's my quick take on that. Next, I want to talk about, if you've been kind of paying attention, some of the bigger stuff, some of the leaks about Godzilla X Kong. I want to say right here, no spoilers. I'm not going to go into pretty much any of the juicy details, because I did watch the video, the alleged video that first came out from Mr. H. So I do know some things. It did not ruin the movie for me. If anything, it made me a little bit more excited. I'll get into that. But no spoilers here. Also, there's been a lot of stuff on Twitter about like whether or not it should have been leaked or who's right, who's wrong. I'm not here to talk about that. Make your own judgment. Anyway, again, without going into any spoilers, I am still very excited for the movie. Some of the details I heard got me interested. There are a few things that I'm a little like okay about, but nothing here is like ruining it for me. Kind of, again, not going into spoilers, but I'll say this when it comes to, I'm not going to say anything specific, but when it comes to like names of certain things, the MonsterVerse kind of chooses to be a little bit more playful with some names, like Skull Crawler, Skull Devil, Warbat. So there's some playfulness there that I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's okay. It's more Saturday morning cartoonish. I will say that this doesn't spoil anything, but you see a lot of people talk about the tone, comparing it to GVK's tone. And all I gotta say is this: I don't think it's wrong for someone to say that they prefer a more serious tone. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm okay with a goofy tone, because in my opinion, that's what I'm just used to when it comes to this franchise. So it's nothing new. But again, if you prefer a serious tone, there's nothing wrong with that. And I see people like up in arms because someone will say that, I prefer more like darker tone, and it's like, well, the Showa era, and it's like, it's okay to prefer something. Like, nothing's wrong with that. We can all have our preferences. Now, for the people who think like, if it's not a serious tone, if it is gonna be goofy like GVK, then it's ruined. Automatically, this film's gonna suck. That's an overreaction. Like, come on now. Looking at it specifically, the last kind of serious MonsterVerse movie was King of the Monsters. Although some people say it's not the most serious. G14 is definitely the most serious and darker tone one, but King of the Monsters still try to keep up with that. And that technically is the one that did the poorest at the box office. Whereas once they went a little bit goofier with Godzilla vs. Kong, the box office picked up. And I believe Skull Island Kong Skull Island actually did better than G14. You may want to check that. I don't know if I'm completely right about that. And that one had a goofier tone than the one before it, which was G14. Hopefully I'm not confusing you. But either way, I think Legendary kind of knows that the goofy tone financially works for them. And it's okay, again, to not prefer that. But it's not going to draw, I don't think it should draw you away. I think it can still be a very good movie. A darker tone doesn't necessarily make it the best movie ever, you know. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. Right now, everything's just words on paper, technically. Or words out of someone's mouth. So, you know, it could sound great and be terrible. It could sound terrible and be great. But we just got to see it. And I'm definitely excited. I will say this. I've seen some people, this is a very small minority of people, but I have seen some people say that they don't like the whole sci-fi aspect of it. And all I have to say is this. Saying you don't like sci-fi aspects with your Godzilla movie, or let me rephrase that. Saying that you're not a fan of the sci-fi aspect of these movies is like saying you don't like the superhero aspect of a Marvel movie. All of this franchise is entirely science fiction. Like, especially Godzilla. Come on now. Like, no part of it. You want to watch a non-science fiction Godzilla movie? Go watch like a National Geographic dinosaur documentary. There's your non-science fiction Godzilla movie. It's all science fiction. So stop complaining about that. But yeah, there's my little rant, my ramble. Maybe you disagree with me. That's okay. I can live with that. But, you know, all in all, I'm still just excited for this movie. It's okay to kind of be maybe a little worried if you want to be worried. I'm not worried at all. I think it's going to be fun. I hope they really do build on some of the lore. And we see some of the monsters that have not been shown completely yet. There's apparently 17 out there and counting. And we haven't seen all of those yet. So I'd rather them kind of show those first before they build upon the list or keep adding to the list. But we also have that TV show, that Apple TV show coming out. And I'll talk about that when I see more of that. So, but all in all, was it GX Kong, GXKTNE? The new Empire, I'm more hyped for it now. That leak got me excited. And Skull Island anime looks like it could be pretty good, and we'll see. You know, I just really want more lore and the mythos of Skull Island to be built upon, because I don't know how many times we're going to keep going back to Skull Island if they're going to start drifting away from it, but I really hope they kind of flesh it out a little bit more. So I'm excited. MonsterVerse is booming. Anyway, if you were paying attention to the whole video, those figures, all of them are pretty good. Love the Neca one. That's probably my favorite Neca Godzilla right there. That rubber snake, you're probably wondering, if you stayed this long, that is supposed to be my representation of the sea serpent from King Kong Escapes. That's how I represent him in my collection. It's a rubber snake I got off Amazon. What else? This video is going on longer than I thought it would. Bandai Memorial Box Godzilla, awesome. The 3 custom, you saw that Kong. Again, I kind of based it off. It's a bootlegged Mezco King Kong figure. So it's all soft vinyl. I just based it off what the browns and light browns of the 1962 King Kong suit. It's not the best representation, but again, it's what I have for now. And I do like the way it came out. I had that one bootleg Millennium Godzilla, which I based off the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla with those different shades of green. And then I had a completely golden Godzilla, which you saw still needs a few more coats of paint on it. But I still like the way it came out. That paint was really good. I like the shininess of it. Alright, this video has gone on for way too long. It's time for you to go to bed. And it's time for me to get a snack and then shower. And then I go to bed. Because everyone needs at least 2 hours of sleep. I'm not a doctor, but that's my recommendation. Recommendation? You know what I mean. I can't speak. Anyway, y'all, I'll see you all next week sometime. Be safe. Have fun. Jump on a trampoline.